Welcome to another episode of This Is Anything Goes, and today we are going to be doing another talk show. Right, I seem to be doing this a lot recently because there are things that I want to voice out. Okay, so let's talk about something that is in the hearts of all Malaysians today: road tax, e-road tax. Our Transport Minister, Mr. Anthony Loke, have already announced that we no longer need to stick our road tax on the windscreen anymore, as they have introduced the e-road tax as well as the e-license. Now, this is met with a lot of thoughts from the netizens as well as myself. So I am actually doing this video to talk about this. And if you're interested, please stay on the video. If not, then you can browse my other videos, which contains a lot of DIY videos and home improvement videos. Okay, so now back to the subject of e-road tax. First of all, we need to address the issue on why people complain that the current road tax is flimsy or it always tears. Okay, so the reason why it is because if anybody is old enough, such as myself, remember when this road tax was actually first introduced many years back. I think even before I got my license. Okay, it was actually because it is a replacement to the paper road tax disc, or they call it the tax disc. Why is it called that way? Because it is literally a disc shaped paper. It's round and it's circular in shape. Okay, so these road tax discs, they are easily stolen, and what happens is that the thieves will steal the road tax disc, put it in their own car, and then change their number plate to match the number plate that's on the road tax disc. So it was a very, very common crime that was happening back then. So the JPJ at that time, the Road Transport Department at that time, actually designed the current road tax to be flimsy. Why? So that the moment it's being torn out from your windscreen, it absolutely will break. Okay? That is the reason why our current road tax is flimsy. That was the history of it, but I believe most people forgot about it. It's been many, many years. Okay, now fast forward to today, 10th February 2023, historical moment. We no longer need to put the road tax, we no longer need to stick the road tax onto the windscreen. But with the announcement by Anthony Loke, it comes with a lot of problems. All right, some of the things that is being raised by the netizens as well as myself is a couple of questions here. What happens when there is a roadblock and there is no mobile signal, which means that we can't get into the app to show the enforcer, the police or the JPJ, our road tax or our license? What happens then? I'll tell you what will happen. I don't know whether the enforcer will let us go, but I will tell you, it will cause heck a lot of a jam behind us. Okay, something that we Malaysians absolutely love, traffic jams, right? Okay, next, what happens if my phone is stolen, lost, I forgot it in my house, I left it in the toilet? You know, Malaysians are very good in making excuses. So whatever excuses that may come out to indicate that I do not have my phone with me, or probably it's just under the chair, I didn't renew my road tax, so I'm not going to show it to the enforcer. What happens then? Are we going to be left? Are we going to be off the hook, or are we going to be pushed to the side while they check? I don't know. It's not informed. Okay. So what happens if the person driving the car is not the owner of the car? Now this is very, very common. I drive daddy's car, I drive mommy's car, I drive my friend's car, but I don't have their phone. So if I were to get stopped at a roadblock and I am being asked to show the road tax of this car that I'm driving that doesn't belong to me, how am I supposed to do that? Because I'm pretty sure whoever that loaned me the car ain't gonna loan me their phone. And you on top of that, I wonder. Wow. Okay, the next point is something that everybody is talking about today. What if the My JPJ app is down or experiencing high traffic? Well, when I talk about traffic here, I meant the cyber traffic, all right, not our traffic jams. But what if the My JPJ app was down when there is a roadblock? What will happen? Like right now, I'm going to show you a couple of screenshots here that I can't go into my JPJ app. I mean, I can go in. I was fortunate enough to actually register, but I'm not fortunate enough to actually use it because it gives me this error message. So the question is, what is the JPJ is going to do about it? How are they going to improve it? And how are they going to ensure that it's stable and reliable enough to be used in such a manner? Well, I don't have the answer. Okay, so complaints aside, here are some of my suggestions on how this can be improved. Now, these are just a short brainstorm by myself. I'm pretty sure JPJ as well as the ministry has plenty of smart people, way smarter than me, to actually think about this. But okay, here are my suggestions. Number one, enforcement officers at roadblocks should be able to look up our road tax information using a handheld device. Either they can scan our number plate or manually key in our number plate to be able to see our road tax information, which I'm pretty sure they most likely have it already, but well, they didn't announce it, so I'm going to assume they do not. But I'm pretty sure they have. It's something very simple, right? I mean, who would have not thought about this? I mean, they are paid to do that kind of job, so they should be able to think about it. I'm not. I'm not in that line. All right. Next is, while it is no longer necessary to stick the road tax on the windscreen, it should be enforced that it is the physical road tax or physical insurance or your license should still be with you, whether in the car or in your wallet. Okay, so that in the event of scenarios like what I said, the My JPJ app is down, or you do not have a mobile signal, or you do not even have your mobile phone with you, it should still be presented to the enforcement officer in a physical form. That is actually being done by a lot of other countries outside Malaysia. They do not have a road tax sticker, they do not put anything in front. Everything's in their glove box or wherever inside their car. And when the enforcement officer comes and asks for it, it's presented to them. Okay, so I have only two suggestions. As I mentioned, this is a very last minute video. It was a very last minute video. Okay, so now something that I want to air out, something that I want to get off my chest. Now that the world is moving towards digitization, a lot of things relies on our handphone. A lot of things are being put to our handphone. This is one of them. I don't really fancy it. Maybe I'm old school. Okay, maybe I'm old school. But if you put everything into one basket, if it breaks, everything in the basket breaks. Okay, now we have e-wallets, we have our bank accounts, we have touch and go, which is also an e-wallet. We have so many things that relies on the phone. So adding one more thing to it, you are basically making a single point failure, and it is a very big failure. Nowadays, nobody remembers telephone numbers anymore. We rely on the phone for that, which is why when you lose your phone, you don't even remember your parents' number to call. That's bad. But it seems that that's the way that the world is moving towards too. I will try to adopt to it, as I believe a lot of older folks, probably older than me, will try to adopt to it. But in the meantime, while the physical separation is still there, we will still use those separation. I would not be removing my road tax sticker anytime soon until it expires, which is January next year. One is coming in May. No, two is coming in May. One is in October. Yep. It's inevitable, but just think about it. Everything in one basket is not a good thing. Okay, so if you like this video, make sure you hit this. If you dislike it, you can hit this. I hope my rambling makes sense. I'm not used to making this style of videos, but hey, I want to get something off my chest. And if you have not done so, make sure you hit the subscribe, hit the like, and hit the bell button so we will get notified on our next upload. See you next time. Have a good weekend. It's Friday, right? Have a good weekend.